All right, so here we are. We're looking at an article. Get rid of all this junk here. So this is what Walterboro? Where's Walt? I don't know where Walterboro is.
Walterboro is like I'd say it's 40 minutes from Orangeburg. It's more
Okay.
like western South Carolina, closer to like
Yes.
not that close to Georgia, but like it's like an hour from Georgia probably.
Yeah, so you could probably get a good phone interview with them, or you could get some kind of Zoom interview and take a screenshot of it for your article. Carlton Prep swept a 3-0 match against visiting Orangeburg Prep. Okay, so Orangeburg is here. Gotcha.
Miss Cat, no disrespect. How old is this article?
It came
When
out
was it?
14 hours ago. See?
Really?
Uh-huh.
Ain't no way.
They're already playing tennis?
That's volleyball.
Oh,
See?
volleyball? They're playing volleyball?
That's a
Yep.
prep school. That's a prep school. So yeah.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
But look what you get information you get. Okay, so this is kind of basic the way this is written. I mean, this is like not much, that's not much of an in-depth article, right? Oh, in photos, they took photos of it. Kind of like, they didn't give much coverage. What else do we have? But you get what I'm saying, where you could just get ideas. You should be looking to seeing what's going on, and like there are people playing. Region SCISA football teams ready to play week 1. Who is this? That was put in on the 22nd. Oh, good Lord, piggly wiggly. Here we go. All right, so one thing I always dig into, first things first, I look at the title, and then I look, well, who wrote this? You got Chris Clark, DNT sports editor. And you know what? He might be a really good guy to invite to class or to interview him for an article. So the next thing I go find his Instagram account, go find his Facebook account. That's a good way to hit him up. Or you could just call the Times and see if you could get his contact information. Right? Good idea?
Mhm. Mhm.
All right.
I
So
guess.
yeah, and you just got good. You got to go for it. So Holly Hills academic defender Perrin Breland makes the play on a pass ball on North Side's Christian Charlie Compton. So these private schools are having sports. It's just really trippy. So one
They
of the
got money.
well, what are they doing? I mean, they got to be doing something to keep people safe, or people
They
start.
got money. They probably have like issued out like masks and stuff like that. And they don't have, private schools don't obviously have as many students as public schools, so they can manage them pretty well, honestly,
Okay, that's a good point.
as opposed to a giant school like Wando.
Yeah. Well, they wrote a pretty significant article about this. We've been running extended. All right, so here they're telling you how they're managing. I think there's a lot of depth. Let's so we'll need to see where everybody as far as conditioning. We've been running extended cleaning measures, check-ins, and social distancing in small groups. Um, so that's a pretty nice little article here,
Hello?
Jesus, you loud.
right? So
Hello?
yeah, what's going on?
Am I the only one that got kicked out?
Uh-oh.
You got kicked out?
You got kicked out?
Probably because your connection is trash.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
like,
Columbia South High School. All right, so this is like high school teams. I had one the other
they didn't
day
have a field?
like, that was
No.
one of the old coaches. Expected to win as White Sox host the Pirate. I had one I liked a lot. This is like articles from other places. I had one. It was about one of the older coaches at SC State. Uh, Flashing the rat. But I'm just saying, these writers, these sports writers, they're very much available. They're public figures, and if you dig a little bit, you can find them. In America. Okay. Sports. So that's a source, just showing you. Okay, I'm back in here, right? So that's a source, right? And who thinks they might go after the bill? Does that seem like a good idea? Or am I just talking to the part here? I hear crickets.
Wait,
It's
where
a
they
good
want?
idea, I guess. Wait. You was talking about like interviewing like like
Find people and interview them. Go find
um
their people's information's all over social media. So especially if you're like um, some kind of sports writer or whatever, you can find them on the Instagram, you find them on Facebook and stuff like that. Send something in their DM, tell them who you are,
yeah.
and and the thing is, if you could, Jalen's having a little thing.
No, go ahead. You can go ahead.
See, here's the thing is, if you get that skill like that and do that, that might be your next job. And that might be your dream job because you knew how to approach somebody in a good way. And that might turn into your dream job. You just don't know, you won't get what you don't do. That's a fact. All right. So let's go to the book. Who has the book?
What you mean?
Book. You talking about book?
Book. Book. Sports.
I don't get off. I go back to work.
I got it.
At,
I gotta find it.
I don't remember about no book.
The book is in PDF form, right?
Yeah, you
If
can.
I can find it.
It's it.
Yeah.
Is this it?
I know you messed me up.
Go, Jalen. The book is
Or
on.
not your thing loud.
This it?
Nah, mute yourself.
The book is in the syllabus. The book is
Oh,
in
my
the
God.
first part of getting started. On
Don't tell me.
Blackboard.
Oh,
We talked about it at the beginning of this course. Get a book.
listen, I got y'all, bro. I got y'all.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go.
Word.
Oh, I gotta read.
Lord have mercy.
No, she put on
Oh,
the thing.
I was about to say, but I was like, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
Y'all acting up.
So I need you to I need you guys to be looking at chapter 7 in the book. We're going to talk about writing a story.
I'm reading.
All right. It's about how.
I do got one question, Miss Cat. The book that you did have on the syllabus, it was 2 different books, so I didn't know which one to get. So I just got this one.
Don't worry about it. I think it's like a different version of it. It's the same book. They just updated it, and it's one's newer than the other. But I think they're
Okay. All right, cool.
So this is chapter 7. This is a really important chapter to try to read. It's cheap. You can download it and get like a rental cheap version of it, right? It wasn't too expensive, right, Jalen?
No, I think I got mine for like what, $20
Yeah.
Jesus. It's kind
from
of expensive.
Chegg. I think it's from Chegg. I got it from State.
Yeah, pretty good and cheap. So here we are. This chapter is going to be talking about writing a sports article, how to write a good article. As a sports writer, you are a storyteller, an action and a human story about real people. And so you want to make it you want to use action words that make it interesting. So these values is
It's so
conflict,
messed up.
timelines, and prominence. Proximity, consequence or impact, and human interest. Those are your key themes.
Y'all, they got the whole PDF online.
All right. So
I just found it.
Send it to us.
And in the group chat.
Okay.
Hold up.
So I wasted $20. Wow.
You did? You did.
Some BS.
Okay.
But okay.
So you have to do your research first, Jalen.
Listen, no. Look, when you hold on, I'm a back on my point.
Just
When
go
you got a
read-
mom that's like
Janet,
once you
hold on. Just read the chapter about how to write a sports article, and you're good. Okay. Don't worry.
okay.
Okay. That's it. That's all we're doing. I'm just trying to get you solid. All of you guys, I know are good writers because I've seen what you've done, articles before. But we're just reviewing over writing sports articles and how to get you solid on sports articles. Okay. That's it. We're just kind of reviewing it. So you guys, I'm going to plant that in your mind, and then we're going to move on. Okay? So I'm just pulling out the key things that's in the book, and then we're going to keep going. Okay? So conflict. Who played? Who won? Was somebody injured? And was personal conflict involved? And was a rule or law broken in a game? That's usually things that you cover. Sports is based on conflict when two or more competitors and one wins. A record holder. So they're giving examples here. Game coverage describes the conflict and breaks it down into individual plays, moments, and heartbreaking defeats. Timelines. Okay, so here's more about the conflict. You're covering the conflict, and you're using colorful, crisp words. When did or will the event happen? So you're given a timeline about what, say maybe it's what quarter it was in. As a news value, timeliness is the first time a story is published or broadcast. So timeliness is important because just like one of you guys said to me when we were looking at the Times and Democrat article, you said, well, when was this published? I'm like 14 hours ago. Now, had that been published a day or two ago, it probably maybe wouldn't have much relevance. Deadlines dictate different content differences. Okay, so all right, so they're giving you an example here. Nebraska volleyball star Sarah Pavan maintained a 4.0 grade point average in biochemistry while leading the Cornhuskers to a 33-1 season and the WCAA title. Those achievements earned the junior from Ontario 31st annual Honda Broderick Cup as the National Female College Athlete of the Year. Okay, so blah, 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 blah. So they're giving you examples of leads. So this is a this lead. She shows up. Okay. Okay, so this is something that we talked about in leads. Like sometimes in let's see. Okay, yeah, here we're talking about leads. So everybody knows what a lead is, correct?
Mm-hmm.
The news article, if you don't, say hey, hey, hey.
Yes.
All right, so a lead is what your story is about, and you do it, and it's usually a long sentence. So the Central Nebraska newspaper ran this lead. So sometimes you got to make a decision if you're going to use that person's name up ahead, because sometimes they'll say the 30-year-old woman, ran through a light and hit a bus. Or if you know who it is, like they're a prominent person in the community, or maybe they're a great athlete, then you use their name, and then you say they ran a light, hit a bus. She has achieved celebrity status in Nebraska UNL. Okay, so they didn't mention her name up front in this lead. And here's a lead, even for the Nebraska athlete. So here they did tell you, they introduced her, and then they said these are two different ways to lead the story. You see what I'm saying? Comment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Prominent. So yeah. So with name recognition. Proximity. Did the event take place close to home, and were people in the audience involved? And does the local audience have an emotional connection to the story happening elsewhere? So that's something to think about too. Is do people know anything? Who are you writing this for? You need to be able to talk about that in class. Sequence and impact. What will change as a result of this? How many people will be affected? Will this action result in legal, financial, emotional, or ethical change for players? Okay, so there's just feature stories. So there's different types of stories. What are the different types of stories that you can write in sports?
Um.
Profile.
Yep,
Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know, like the name. Yeah. I got profile and feature kind of confused.
Feature stories. So right here, right here, feature stories are human interest stories that tell people that tell about people doing something special or out of the ordinary that entertain as they inform. So, who would be likely to read a feature story about an athlete?
Somebody that like the athlete
Yep.
that wants to know about their story.
But maybe they might not necessarily be into sports, but they might like reading about that story, because it's more about a human interest kind of story. It's a side along or run as a sidebar of the news story. They can be put anywhere.
Ma, what you doing? Oh.
I'm talking to a friend of mine who was trying to get some insurance on.
So also a profile, like what's a profile? The feature story can be like a profile about the person. The lead, what does the lead usually include? Is right here. You can have an anecdote, a picture that sets up the story, and the 5 W's. You know the 5 W's, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So here they're talking about human interest. I'm going to blaze through this. Okay, this story out of the ordinary on the sports page. It has rarely happened before. It's usual. Okay. I don't know about any unusual sports stories. Do you know about any unusual sports stories? Okay. So advanced stories. Pre-game stories prepare readers for what they might be see during a sporting event. So they appear a day or two before the event. So this would be an excellent example would be like before the World Series or maybe the Super Bowl. There might be an article about who the best game bets are. Leads. So this is important. Can somebody kind of read this for me? Because I'm feeling a little under the weather today. Jalen, can you jump in? Isaiah?
Wait, where are you at?
I got it. It's the lead.
5 leads.
The lead is the beginning of a media story. It sets the scene and tells readers and viewers what happened. On a sports news story, the lead introduces the teams, players, competition, score, and at least hints at how play led to the outcome. On sports feature, the lead focuses on the person or topic, drawing the audience in examples, anecdotes, word pictures, or unusual circumstances. A well-written lead on a well-organized story assures readers that no matter where they exit the story, even after the first paragraph or two, they will have enough information to know what happened. Want to keep on reading?
Yeah, hold on a second.
New values help sports writers determine. Oh, geez. New values help sports writers determine the lead and structure for their stories. If a fight breaks out in the court, the conflict will almost certainly be the lead. If a record is broken, the consequences or impact is likely to be the lead. If the game story timeless will be a value, but more important, the results of the conflict, the score will be the lead. So will providence and maybe the human interest. If a well-known player is involved, whether it's a game story or news story, the name will be in the lead, usually connected to another news value, which is conflict or news values such as conflict or consequence. Think of the lead as a. Oh, okay.
Sorry. Did I go ahead of you too far?
Yeah. I think I got the last paragraph.
Okay.
Think of the lead as a basketball. At the moment it reaches the high point of the official's toss. At that moment, all eyes are on the ball. Fans hold their breath for a millisecond, arms stretched, fingers poised to the direction the ball as it descends. Eyes, then bodies turn to follow the ball into play. At that moment, no one knows who will win. what the score will be, or who will be injured or fouled out. What they do know is that an unpredictable sequence of plays will become a game, and their team has a chance to win. The tip-off is when the real story begins. Some of the fans will watch every play intently. Um, some will watch for a quarter, then go out for some popcorn, come back out to get a drink, come back. Some will watch cheerleaders, the people in the next row, the instant replays or the scoreboards more than the game. Some will leave and never return.
Okay, so writing, let's just skip over that. Readers are focus on, okay, they focus on the lead of the game story, which is much interesting to basketball game. Okay, major difference between a toss and a lead is that the toss is only the beginning of something, and the lead also reveals the outcome. Game story leads tell the end first. But the best ones tell it in such a way that even someone who saw or listened to the game will be curious enough to pay attention. That's Isaiah, Mr. Isaiah Allen. Can you read this section right here, this lead?
Yeah. Right in the lead. Readers will decide in 7 to 14 words whether to read on or move on.
Right here.
Oh, that one?
One shot.
The 1,000,000-to-1 shot came in. Hell froze over. A month on Sundays hit the calendar. Don Larson today pitched a no hit, no run, no man reach first game in a World Series.
That's a pretty good action-packed sentence there, isn't it? That's a good lead, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Courtney, can you talk a little bit about leads? Writing a lead here.
Yes. So you want me to summarize it technically?
If you want to read it, summarize it, whatever. We're just kind of going over how to write a good lead report. So just if you want to read over that, you can. If you want to summarize writing a lead, it's your choice.
Okay, so pretty much like the lead is like the beginning, like so making sure like you want to make sure you kind of make sure it's powerful enough for people to understand what you're writing about or what's coming after. If that makes sense. So kind of making sure it's short enough to where like you describe the story, but you don't give all the details where the person won't be able to read the rest of the story and to understand.
Yep, and I like what this says here. Readers will decide in 7 to 14 words. That's amazing. Whether to read on or move on. That makes writing the lead one of the biggest challenges a sports writer faces. The lead sets the tone for the story. It must convey enough information to tease readers and viewers into the story while not giving away so much that they are content to know who played, who won, and what the score was. Because that's pretty much what people want. When they get that, they don't read your article anymore. So anybody want to read this lead here, the outline again, this lead we have, this next lead? Courtney, you want to go and do this one?
I'm right after. You want me to start at the writer's goal?
Just write the lead. Yeah, outline against a blue. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a blue-gray October sky.
Okay. Outline against a blue-gray October sky, the four horsemen rode again. In dramatic lore, they are known as famine, pestilence, destruction, and death. These are only alliances. Their real names are Dreer, Miller, Crowley, and Layden. They formed the crest of the South Bend Cyclone, before which another fighting Army football team was swept over the precipice at the Polo Grounds yesterday afternoon, as 55,000 spectators peered down on the bewildering panorama spread on the green plain below.
Is that a good lead?
No. No, it's too many big words. It's kind of confusing. Like it's not written correctly. Like I don't know.
Okay. There's a little bit more. Sometimes the lead is written first. Sometimes is written last, which is interesting. Sometimes I think you write like an anecdote, like a little story to introduce it.
Yeah.
It depends on what kind of story you're writing. Sometimes the lead is written, okay, and then when writer's block strikes, it is as it does for every writer at some time. The cure may be to write the rest of the story. So sometimes writing a story, I know a lot of writers who write the ending first, and then they build up their story from the ending. It's usually a good way to start. Let's see. Two types of leads. Oh, there's two types of leads, guys. Look at this.
Wait, where you at?
Who wants to cover the different types of leads? What are the different types of leads you can go to?
Oh, ladies. Oh.
Hey, Zoc, can you cover us?
It's on like page 150 in the PDF, y'all.
Yeah. It's on the screen. So there's two different kinds of leads. We got a direct lead and a delayed lead. The lead can be as short as the first sentence of a story, or it can be as long as several paragraphs. Advances, gamers, and briefs usually have short, direct leads, while features, profiles, and in-depth stories are more likely to have longer, delayed leads. But they're not mutually exclusive. Gamers may have delayed leads, in-depth stories that may direct leads. Okay, who wants to go? Does that make sense? Do we need to do a quiz, or are we good like this?
No, I'm learning what we're doing right now. Like us popcorn reading and stuff like that. And going back over
we
it.
want to quiz, man.
No quiz. Hey, Miss Cat, do you want to tell us what will be our stories that we picked out? I know you wanted us.
Have that ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you had it. Some of you didn't have it yesterday. All right, well, I just want to go over. So you have delayed lead. Okay, so I just want you to read this section about leads. So you're kind of catching on to this. All right, let's go over this real quick. We only have about 10 more minutes, unless you want to stay. So the nut graph.
2 minutes.
You know what the nut graph is?
No.
It's a review. Courtney.
Oh, I remember that word in a long time. You told us. Oh my god, that's told us this a while ago.
Review, and this is how it applies to sports. The nut graph is the sentence of the paragraph that tells the reader what the story is about, and what slant the writer will take. In a slow pitch softball lead, it's the last paragraph. Readers now know the story will be about a team of men aged 70 and older preparing to compete in a national tournament. And it will have a lighthearted tone. The nut graph may be the first sentence of the story with a distinct lead, or, as in Bill Spiller, the slow pitch softball stories, it may be the 6th to 7th paragraph in a feature story with a delayed lead. If a story does not have a clear nut graph, the reader will become confused by the story or lose interest after the paragraphs. So what's a nut graph?
It's basically
pretty much.
a
Oh, you can go first, Kayla. I'm sorry.
It's pretty much a summarization.
Yeah, it's going to tell you what they're going to write about. So asking a question would seem to pull the reader into the story. It's your hook. You know, if the lead's a quotation, use the next sentence to explain the situation. So normally when you write a lead and you hook the player, the person, a lot of times the formula is to write a quote after it to prove what you just wrote. Should I repeat that? Because that's the most important thing I've said all day in this class.
You can.
Say it again.
Yeah, you can.
When you write you write in short paragraphs. Your lead with your nut graph is sums up everything you're going to talk about. And when you make that statement, the next sentence after it often has a quote. from like the coach, from a player, somebody, and then that proves your point. It's evidence. It's very important. Story structure. Okay, so I'm just going to go over this real quick. We talked about inverted pyramid, right? Everybody remembers inverted pyramids?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
They have the.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is just a formula. You nut graph. You don't always. All articles aren't written that way, but a lot of them, it's a formula. It's a template of writing. Okay, that's something you need to look over. So this gives you a diagram about how articles are written. Columns. Okay, yeah. Okay, so here's our follow-up stories. You might go back and follow up with a story, like after a game, to talk to the players. Sports writers. Okay, so this is interesting. Sports writers who know their beats and their communities well have long-term familiarity with their audiences and their subject. That's really important to being a sports writer. So they have people calling them up and say, "Hey, I got this player. It's about to break this record." They give you that tip, and they practice. They know the language. This is what a good sports writer does. They built up their audience. Functions, form. Okay, keep going here. Daryl, you might want to ask Mr. Santiago Leon about that topic. All right, so that's following the style. All right, let's stop right there. So that I recommend that you read that in writing your articles, because it's just going to be, because I know some of you had news writing and you've had feature article writing, right? But it's just good to it's always good to read that kind of stuff because it helps you tighten up your writing and stuff. And a lot of times when you write your first go at an article, you really need to edit and re-edit, like put it away for a day and come back up to it maybe, and then just polish it up a little bit more, because you can always make your art tighten up your article. Okay. Courtney, did you say you had an article to show?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I'm going to make you the host and you can bring it up. You have it?
Yeah. Hold up. Let me put it in a little chat thing.
And then you can share a screen, okay?
Okay. How you do that? It's gonna work on mine?
Yep. You just put yours up and then share the screen.
Okay. Hold on. I'm typing it in my phone now. I have it on my computer, but.
Thanks for putting that source for the book on the chat, Courtney. That's cool.
Thank you. I try. Hold up. Give me a second. It's the article on ESPN. It was talking about how Paul George said he was dealing with depression and stuff while they in the bubble.
Hit share screen.
I gotta pull it up first.
That's a good one.
They just posted it yesterday. Dang it. Not yesterday. They updated it today.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw it, Dylan?
Yeah. They was talking about it on Get Up and First Take this morning.
Oh. I don't know how to do this. What the fuck? Sorry.
You was right the first time. You was right the first time.
I'm trying to put it in my phone.
You on your phone or you on a computer?
I'm on the computer and my phone, but I have it pulled up on my computer. But no, I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip my camera.
Thank you.
That's how we gonna do that.
Yep.
All right. Can you share the screen and do it from your computer, or you're not on Zoom with your computer?
No, I'm on Zoom with my phone.
Okay.
So like y'all just gotta look at my little thing.
All
Cause
right.
y'all can see it.
I can't share screen anymore now because I gave you the
You can see it now?
barely.
Okay, let me pull it close.
I can
It
see.
says
It.
Clippers Paul George said he dealt with anxiety, depression.
Okay, talk about it.
Scroll down. Pretty much it was talking about how he was dealing with depression like in the bubble. I guess like how the audience isn't there in the game. But he said he felt better like in game. I think it was like the last game. He said he felt a little bit better, but he just said like it feels weird without having an audience there. Kind of feels like he like a robot. Kind of like he feels like he a robot like on go. And so he said he wasn't mentally there for the first couple games that they played.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because I don't know, like everybody's dealing with the virus differently, and so the fact that they have to kind of wake up every day and still have to go to work and still kind of have to play. Yeah, I can bet that it probably does feel a little different because I guess they're playing into like no noise. Like I bet it's quiet in there. Like it's just them sweating and stuff and just running back and forth down the court. So
that's a good article. That's a good example.
Yeah.
Of article during COVID.
Yeah.
Okay, so Monday we're kind of winding down, and Miss Cat's feeling a little under the weather today. I'm gonna go take a little nap. I don't have the Rona. I just have like a little sinus thing.
You better not have that, Rona.
We can't catch it through the phone.
I mean,
I know.
I go
it's
to the grocery
CVS
store,
and a
I go to
Walgreens
Piggly
near you
Wiggly, and I
somewhere.
go to the gym, and that's all place I ever go.
Oh.
Like sad.
Oh, true.
Bro.
All right. So winding down, I'm in the class on Monday. You guys are in charge, and you're presenting your articles that you've written, and you're going to present to the class. Okay.
Bet.
Question.
Okay.
Because I wrote my article already, thinking that we could actually use quotes and stuff from like Twitter, because that's what we said last class. So do I have to write another article?
No, just do put it in your blog, put a link on the assignment, and we're going to present it, and we'll all discuss it in class. Okay.
Okay.
But what I want for you guys is I want you to call people up, find them on the internet, talk to them. Danny, you might find that person on that Twitter. Go DM them, see if they'll get you on Zoom with you, phone with you, whatever, and chat with you, Tell you a little bit more about that. Dig in. I want you to be curious and inquisitive investigators. I want you to go dig up more stories because, like I said, that's what's going to get you hired in the job that you're looking for. Okay, thumbs up. Danny, you're looking at me. You're giving me the look. I don't know if that's your thumb or some other finger. Jalen, no, you're late to the party. All right. All right. Anybody else?
Nah.
No.
All right.
No.
Well, let's wind it down. Get ready.
All right, it's time to go. Like, for real. It's time to go.
Jalen, what?
Dang, okay, damn.
It's time to go.
Rude.
Because we got to
Yes.
at 3 o'clock, bro. It's time to go. Well, I guess I'll see y'all Monday.
Yeah. See you later. Stay out of trouble.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
All right.